Hey guys, today I'll be showing you how to ride a dirt bike. And today the bike we're using is a Kawasaki KX100 2-stroke. It's a 2-cycle engine, which means it uses a mixture of both gas and oil instead of just gas. And first things first, you need to know your bike. There's many different parts in the bike. I got my brother here with me. He's going to help demonstrate different things. First, you got your clutch right here. You use this when shifting through gears. You got your engine stop button, that's to stop the engine if you ever need to. Then you got your front brake here. The front brake locks up the front wheel. You got your throttle right next to the brake. Then down here we got kickstart. Use this to kickstart the bike. You got your rear brake. That locks up the rear wheel. On the other side, you got your gear shift. And what this does is when you shift up, you go up with it with your feet. You shift down, go down, you help put it into neutral. Another key component of the bike is the suspension. In the front, you got the front forks that pivot up and down. This allows you to ride on rough terrain. In the rear, we have a coil suspension. It allows you to do the same, ride in rough terrain. Here you got this cylinder that allows you to harden or loosen the suspension for a rougher or smoother ride, depending on your riding style. When it comes to sitting on the bike, there's some do's and don'ts. You don't want to sit too far forward on the bike, and you don't want to sit too far back on the bike. You want to sit just right about even till your knees are bent slightly. Next step is learning how to start the bike. You have a kickstart right here, so you fold this out, put your foot on it, and you give it a good kick downward. Just like that. Once you've done this, now it's time to learn how to use your throttle. You use your throttle by twisting it back. Once you've learned how to use your throttle, it's time to learn how to use the clutch. You pull your clutch in and release it. When shifting gears, you do it rapidly. You pull in your clutch, shift the gear, let go. Whenever you're taking off for the first time, you pull in your clutch, put the bike in gear, and slowly release on the clutch. Just like that. Right now, the bike is in neutral. This is where you want to have it when you first start it. Once you've had the bike started, you pull in your clutch. This is your gear right here. You kick it down to first gear. Right now it's in first gear. When you do that, you do what we said earlier. You give it a little bit of gas. Release the clutch very slowly till it starts taking off. And then, once you've done that, you pull in your clutch, shift the gear up to second, up to third, up to fourth, up to fifth, up to sixth, and that's as many gears as it's got. Same thing to go down. As you're slowing down, you pull in your clutch, shift down, pull in your clutch, shift down, pull in your clutch, shift down. And then to put it in neutral, you push it all the way down to where it's in first gear, which it is right now. Then you click it half a click up, just like that, just for it to be in neutral. Alright, so once you've got the bike in first gear, you pull in your clutch on this side. You give it a little bit of throttle on this side, not too much, not too little. If you give it too much throttle, when you let go of the clutch, the bike will pop up in a wheelie, throwing you off the back end. If you don't give it enough throttle, the bike will stall out. You'd have to do the whole process over again of starting it, putting it in neutral. Now, we're going to be demonstrating how to take off on the bike. First of all, you start it. You pull in your clutch, put the bike in first, give it a little bit of gas, and let go of the clutch very slowly. Next, we're going to learn how to use the brakes. Both your front brake and your rear brake are on the same side of the bike. They're used at different times. If you need to come to a stop eventually, not abruptly, use the front brake. When using the front brake, you want to squeeze on it very slowly. If you just squeeze the brake immediately, it'll lock up the front tire, flipping the bike forward. If you're using the back brake, you do the same. You press down on it very slowly. You can push down on it really hard. It'll just lock up the rear brake, causing you to fishtail a little bit. Other than that, it's safer to use the rear brake most of the time. But I use the front brake quite a bit when I don't need to stop abruptly. When coming to a stop, you want to release your throttle, use whichever brake you'd like, the front brake or the rear brake. But before you hit the brake, you want to hold in your clutch. This allows the engine to stay running and not stall while you're slowing down and shifting down, coming to a stop. Now that we've gone over all the parts of the bike and how to use it for different situations, we'll be demonstrating how to ride a dirt bike one more time. First, you start it. And while you do this, you keep one foot on the ground to keep you stabilized. The other is picked up on the rest, like this. Okay, so you pull in your clutch, shift down, slowly take off. Give it a little bit of gas. And as you're running it, you pull in your clutch, shift, pull in your clutch, shift, and so on. When coming to a stop, you want to pull in your clutch, let your RPM settle down, kick the shift down, again, till you're in the gear that you desire. When taking corners on a dirt bike, it's important that you lean the bike, instead of just turning it while it's upright. You turn it, lean it slightly, just like that. And whenever you take corners, you want to release the throttle. You don't want to be hitting the throttle too hard. So now you should have a rough idea on how to ride a dirt bike if you had no idea before. I wish you luck on riding dirt bikes. Hope you don't get hurt. And that's the end of this video.